I took a gamble and paid $1,150 for this locker. Now it's time to see if it pays off.
You guys must be familiar with the hit show Storage Wars, right? In this popular American TV reality show, professional bidders from different places of the country evaluate different items and try to sell them to gain profit from them. Darrell Sheets is one of the cast members of this reality show. Here are some of the facts that you probably didn't know about Darrell Sheets. He met his fiancée out on the open road. Darrell met his one-time fiancée Kimber out on the open road. They both were driving on the road near the intersection of 55 and 91 in the state of California. They shared a glance with each other and instantly made a connection. This made Darrell follow her car for a few miles. Then he pressed a paper against her car's window on which he had written his phone number. After this, they started dating each other. Darrell even moved from San Diego to Huntington Beach to get closer to Kimber. He currently has a new fiancée. Since Darrell and Kimber broke up with each other, Darrell found a soulmate for himself. Her name is Romney Snyder. She works in the HiCaliber Horse Rescue, which is a non-profit organization that saves horses from being slaughtered in auctions. They were believed to be dating each other and are planning to get married soon. It is heard that Sheets had lost about 100 pounds. That implies quite an interesting indication. Darrell Sheets loves his wooden skull clock. Once the father-son duo explored a locker and they found a pack of peanuts. They further investigated and stumbled upon a cool-looking skull with a few spots of paint and a large eerie human eyes. They were shocked and even grew curious about what the actual thing was. He inspected the item carefully and learned that the back of the skull comes out, revealing some gears and cogs. Later, they concluded that this thing was a unique old clock that comes with a hefty price tag. Brandon jokingly said that it seems as if the skull is looking right at you when turning to the camera. As a reply, Darrell said jokingly, "It probably is." Then he gave the clock a kiss and placed it carefully back inside the locker. He found a locker which turned out to be a value of $300,000. Darrell did what he did best, and that's gambling. He bid on an old storage unit with $36,000. As he opened the unit, he was shocked and blazed. He found some old antiques of the famous painter Frank Gutierrez. There were more than 100 paintings of him inside. Later, when summed up by experts, it was estimated that the price of all the paintings in total stands at a price of about $300,000. This is one of the biggest findings in Storage Wars history. His son Brandon, after this huge find by his father, was determined even more to follow in his footsteps in the chosen profession, just like his dad. Darrell once found a murdered corpse inside a unit. Most shocking and creepiest find in the history of Storage Wars, Darrell once found a corpse inside a unit that was wrapped in plastic. He called the police immediately, and he obviously was proved to be innocent. Later, the cops determined that the previous owner of the storage unit murdered his wife and wrapped her up in plastic and put the body inside the unit. This incident happened in 1998 in San Diego, California. When asked, he said the experience was very unpleasant, but in a business like this, things like this are common. He no longer collects items. Darrell's one of his favorite hobbies was to collect items, but he is not into that anymore. He doesn't collect them anymore. Rather, he invests and looks for the valuable items from which he can make the most profit from the belongings. He also spends most of his time teaching his son Brandon so that he can follow in his footsteps in the future. Runs a small-scale business. Darrell's new business is a small scale in nature, but it is definitely successful. His business has next to no overhead, which means that the revenue money that is needed to continue running the operations. Also, his business is low volume because he is into making profits from the most valuable items. If one of the buys is lacking in this regard, he will sell it without making a route through it. This explains how a small-scale business like this can be successful, and there is a fair chance to grow it and make it even bigger in the near future.